Welcome everybody to OP Digital Blueprint, Unveiling Success. Unfortunately, Collins can't make it at the moment. He's been absconded to Holland on work. So I am blessed to be joined today by Michael Williams. And Michael's going to give us a rundown of CATM because I know you guys have forgotten all about it and what it means and actually how it works and everything else. So, Michael, welcome to OP Digital Blueprint. Glad you could join us today. And please show us the way.
Thank you so much, Andy, for having me today. It's always a pleasure anytime we can get together, talk about OnPassive. It's always a pleasure to do that because it's such a great company, and people are in such a great position, even though sometimes I think they may not realize the great position that they're in, but when we fully understand OnPassive as a company, which Catmo so beautifully sums it all up. When we truly understand that, then there's no frustration, there's no wondering, impatience. Like there's none of that. It's just excitement. You're excited about your future, your bright future. And so yeah, for me, it's always great to talk about OnPassive. So yeah, so today we'll talk about Catmo. Um, you know, when we break it all down, Andy, I think it just tells us exactly what OnPassive is, and there's hidden meaning, if you wish, within it that kind of reveals how the process works, right? And so if you understand the process of something, then you're at ease, you feel comfortable, right? There's not lack of knowledge. And so we have the acronym CATMO, right? And so we know that the C is for complete. Okay, it's a complete business, complete digital solution, right? What does complete means, right? Complete means that it's a closed loophole, if you wish, right? Something can take you from start to finish. You can't get to the finish line if you don't have all the tools that you need to get there, right? So we have to understand that we're looking for this business to be complete. Does it mean that we have to have every single products that we're ever going to have? Absolutely not. Okay, but there are some essential elements, some essential products, tools that are required in order for us to say yes, it's complete. For example, right, we need to have our domain name, right? We need to have our unique website, right? That is, geared to us, where we're promoting us. We are that. So we need to have that. We need to have the targeted traffic, right? So if we don't have all these pieces, then we're not complete, right? Included within complete, we need automation. And so that's where the A comes in, right? So it has to be automated because if it depends upon me and you to make it happen, if it's you and I that have to go out there and personally try to sell O Connect and O Tracker, O Staff, all these other great products, if it's up to you and I, so now we're talking about skill. Now we're talking about, okay, am I skilled enough? Am I a salesperson? Can I actually sell? And chances are we can't, right? The majority of us, and not just those in OnPassive, but just people in general, right? That's why, when somebody says, I can't find a job, I say, well, no, that's not true, right? You can't find a job that you want because there's always a sales job available, Andy. There's always, pick up a newspaper or wherever you look for a job, you'll see that there's some sort of sales position available because it's a high turnover career position. That's just how that works. Most people just cannot sell. It's not something that is easy. There's an art to it. There's skills involved. So it's not that simple. And so we have to realize that we got into OnPassive because we're looking for automation. But guess what? The good news is that we can use technology. We can use software to automate the process for us. For example, if I wanted to follow up with a customer, there's no reason for me to have to send an email every time I want to do that. I can automate that. I get an autoresponder, and the autoresponder does exactly that. I can pre-program it for 365 days if I wanted to. So every day, a message will go out to that individual customer, right? That's automation. So that's one less thing that I have to do, right? Just to give you an example, okay? And so many companies use autoresponders. Many companies that I receive messages from, whether it be my phone company, whether it's my electric company, gas company, and so on, car companies, right? Anytime maintenance is due, it's not somebody there, typing in this message. It's automated. They program it as to when I'm supposed to get this message. Say, hey, buddy, bring your car in. It's time for maintenance, right, etc. Okay, so we can automate things. That's built into ONPASSIVE, where we can automate a lot of the process, right? Because we need it. We need someone to say, hey, I'm the expert, okay, or we are the expert, and we know how to sell. So we're going to infuse our knowledge, right, into software, okay, which are products, tools, and that will now do the selling for us. Meaning it can present your offer, right? It can follow up with the individuals that need following up, because sometimes to make a sale, you have to follow up with people multiple times. It's not just, here's my product, buy, and that's the end of it. Sometimes you may have to get back to them, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 times even, right? Before they actually say, okay, yeah, you know what? I think I will buy. Think about you as an individual. Somebody may have approached you about a business, as an example, right? And you may say, oh, no, it's not for me, right? And then maybe a week later, they approach you again, and you're like, you may change your mind a week later or a month later, right? There are individuals that I even shared ONPASSIVE with, and a year after I shared information with them, they then decided to join. So it wasn't right timing for them, or for whatever reason, they didn't get involved right away. But a year later, they chose to get in. And so that's what I mean when I say that selling is not just about an event. It is a process. It takes time. Okay. So we have the complete part of it. So the C, we have the A, which is the automation that you really, really need, right? And then you have the T. Very, very, very important component. You have to have targeted traffic, not just traffic, but targeted traffic. It's very, very, very important to have targeted traffic if you want to make sales in a predictable way. Because here's the analogy. You open up a store, right? And you're selling baseball caps, okay? You're selling baseball caps, okay? And so you have people coming into your store and they're looking for a baseball bat. They're not looking for a baseball cap. They want a baseball bat. So are they going to buy a baseball cap inside there? It's possible that they may buy. It's possible because, some people buy, they see, oh, you know what? Yeah, I'll just buy that. Since I'm here, I'll just buy that, right? But the majority of people, if they're looking for a baseball bat, they're not going to buy that baseball cap. You know what I mean? However, if I bring a whole bunch of people into my store that's looking for baseball caps, guess what now? The probability, the chance of them buying that cap is so much higher. It doesn't guarantee that they will buy, okay? It's important to understand it. It doesn't guarantee, not because you have targeted traffic, it doesn't guarantee that every single visitor is going to buy, but it does increase your chance though, okay? It's all about probabilities, right? It increases the chance of that person buying. Anytime you have something that you're offering and you put people in front of it that are looking for what you have, what you're offering, then by all means, you're going to make sales. It's a given, okay? You're going to make sales. And that's why it's important to have targeted traffic. A lot of people have what's called run-of-the-mill traffic, meaning they're just, any and everyone, they're exposing their business to or their product to, right? And so a lot of times you're spending a lot of money, a lot of time, and it's wasted because these people are not interested in what you have, right? You have a car dealership and somehow let's say you're selling online and you're sending a whole bunch of people that are not even looking for a car. They can't even afford what you're selling, right? But you get a whole bunch of traffic coming from those people. Are they going to buy? No. But if I get a whole bunch of people who are looking to buy a car and I'm actually selling a car, now the chance of me making that sale is so much greater. That's why we want to have targeted traffic. So we have to have the C, we have to have the A, we have to have the T, and guess what comes next? MO, which is money. That's how you make money, folks. Okay, you have to put a system together. It's in your best interest to automate that system. You have to drive interested buyers, potential buyers, people that's looking for what you have to offer, people that can afford what you have to offer. Because even if you have people coming there that's looking to buy that baseball cap, but if you're selling your cap for $100 and these people can only afford $20 for a cap, they're not going to buy, even though they're interested in buying a cap. You understand? So there's other factors that go into it. And guess what? OnPassive knows all of this. OnPassive knows how the process works. OnPassive understand why it has to be a complete system, right? Because we want a one-stop shop. So that way, when people come, whatever they're looking for, it's there. They will find it in our ecosystem. They don't have to come to our ecosystem, buy one thing, and still have to go over here to go buy something else, and go over there to go buy something else. No, you want a captive audience. You want when people come, you want to be able to hold their attention by providing everything that they need online. That's how you do it. So once you have all that in place now, guess what? Now sales can be generated while you're sleeping, while you're on the beach, while you're spending time with your family. It can be done, folks. There are people on the internet right now that's doing just that, but just on a small scale, and they're doing it just for themselves. They're not doing it for 1 million people. They're not doing it for 1.4 million. They're doing it just for themselves. And they spend hundreds of thousands of dollars just on traffic alone, but they're making sales over and over and over again. It is real, folks, okay? It is real that you can have a complete automated system in place that can make sales on your behalf. It is absolutely real. We've done it for years, but like I said, on a small scale, okay? When we talk about automatic internet millionaire, on a small scale, what we're talking about with OnPassive is to be able to provide real products that people are out there looking for. People are buying domain names all the time, right? People are buying traffic all the time, right? People are using different web conference platforms. People are out there, companies want to improve their human resource department and so on by having effective tools, okay, to get the job done. Automation, when you start to use software, it's your best employee that you can have. Because guess what? The automated software is not going to call in sick, right? It's not going to do a half, work, right? It's going to get the job done. It's going to do what it's programmed to do. Unlike us as individuals, the minute we get a chance to sneak out and go to a bathroom break, you know what I mean? We're willing to do that, right? As opposed to that software is going to work 24/7. It's going to work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. It's not going to call in sick, folks. It's not going to say, hey, boss, sorry, I can't come in today. It's going to continue to work. And that's how you get time freedom, right? Because you may have money, but if you don't have the time to enjoy the money, what's the point? So we have to understand that OnPassive is doing all of this. When we talk about the heavy lifting, this is what OnPassive is doing. All of this for us, putting it all together. If payment processor is not working correctly, then you don't have a complete system, right? If you can't just go right now and take out your credit card and go make a payment and buy OConnect right now, then you don't have a complete system. The company fully understands all of that. So they're going to make sure that everything is in place so that you win, so that I win, so that all of us win. It makes sense, folks. What is OnPassive doing? OnPassive will sell its products and share the revenue that comes in from the sale of those products. It's a very simple concept. The problem is there are other companies that could do it. They choose not to do it. They're about themselves. They're in it for the money. They just want to see, well, how much money can I fill my pocket with? I don't care about the people around the world. I don't even care about my customers. That's the mindset. OnPassive says, no, there has to be a better way. There is a better way, and we're going to make sure that is the case. That's what we say that OnPassive is the correction for the corruption, right? Because a lot of companies out there, the big names, could they not help a lot more people? Of course they can, right? On a side note, I just saw news today about Melinda Gates, right? And so she gets to walk away from the foundation with 12 point something billion dollars with a B. You understand? Well, that's money she can go use to, fund whatever charitable endeavor that she wants to do on her own. As the bottom line, folks, she gets to walk away with 12 plus billion with the B dollars to go do what? There is so much that is needed around this world. And there are companies out there that can, but they choose not to. CATMO is real. CATMO is real, folks. And that's what we have in ONPASSIVE, because CATMO is ONPASSIVE. It's going to give us the total freedom that we're looking for. It's going to give us the financial freedom that we're looking for. It is coming. It didn't disappear. It's not on the shelf. It's not delayed. It's going to happen. The company continues to work regardless of what anyone may think. They continue to work, and the job will get done, and we will be the benefactor of such. Back to you, Andy.
Thank you, Michael. Wow, there's a lot to cover there, guys. There's a couple of points I made some notes on, and I found quite interesting. So normally, when you do things like email marketing, or you're trying to obtain customers, you have to contact them 6 or 7 times before they buy. This is standard practice, and this is something that's taken out of our hands. But Michael talked about sales, about selling, and one of the things that I see ONPASSIVE as is not actually selling anything, and I'll tell you for why. Because I'm a great believer in lists. I'm sorry, I'm a Capricorn, and I'm a planner, so I write lists, okay? And I write lists of people that I know, people I come across, people that I've met, people that I've worked with, etc. And I put them into categories. So I'll give you an example, a good example. One of the guys that I know has been working in London for many years, and he's had to travel up by train every day to go to London. Now, because of what happened in 2019, 2020, he no longer has to travel to London. What does he do? He has to therefore use a video conferencing platform. Okay, so he's not the only employee of the company. So what if I turned around to him and said, I'll tell you what, I've got something that might be of interest to you, because it's got all the bits that I know you use at the moment, but it's got several more that might be of interest. And I know that you probably deal with guys in different countries and different locations that speak a different language. Yes. Right, so what do you do at the moment? Well, we use an auto translator. Okay, well, we are bringing in at some point very shortly an auto translator. But more importantly, how many people do you have on the call? And you ask a few questions. Now, this is not selling, this is sharing. And I think that's an important point. Now, we know there are various different products along the system to be able to offer a product. An email or autoresponder is just one of them. And I know Marty's used one for many years, and as I'm sure Michael has. You know, you have to pay for that as a separate entity. And the more detail or data that you put into that, the more it costs you. Whereas when ours gets released, it's going to be a different kettle of fish, because it is value for money. And this is the key here, guys, value for money. Michael again mentioned a correction for the corruption, or to the corruption, because basically companies are in it for themselves. They're in it for their shareholders. They're in it to make money. Nothing more. They're not interested in us as customers. They're not interested in, does the product do what it says on the tin? Do you know what? I'm probably not really bothered, because at the end of the day, if I can sell it, it doesn't really matter, because I'm going to make a profit out of it. Whereas what we have, and one of the main reasons that we have not gone to market, is because Ash is not happy with this product, doesn't do what I want it to do. Yes, we have an issue with the the merchants at the moment with not being able to pay people and to be able to take money in. Well, this is a third party. It's nothing to do with OnPassive. So they're working in the background to create all of these other products. But, you know, Michael mentioned effective tools. Now, this is a key element to what OnPassive is doing. These are effective tools. These are tools that do exactly what they say on the tin, and a far lower price point and a far greater features and benefits list. Take OTracker, for example, or OTrim, which is free in comparison to the likes of TinyURL or Bitly, which you have to pay for. Correction to the corruption. Michael, have you got any more thoughts for us? Anything else we can add to this?
Well, you mentioned list, Andy, and again,
I'm anal. Sorry.
and I know there are folks out there who actually have lists, right? So can you imagine being able to take that list and upload it into a bulk mailer in your ecosystem, and it just sends out mail to these individuals on your behalf, right? Again, once you've uploaded it, then your job is done, right? You just leave it, let it be, and it does its thing. And those who are interested in what you're presenting to them, right? Which is what? Get a free account, right? That's what you're presenting to people. You're presenting to them to open up a free account. Come take a look. It's free. Doesn't cost you anything. You understand? And so a lot of people will come just to take a look. A lot of people will come because it is free. Okay, so they will open an account, and guess what? Now every new product that comes out will be in that ecosystem, so they will see and they will sell themselves. They will pick and choose, right, what makes sense to them, what they need, etc. Right? Everyone who has a business, they don't necessarily all need the same things, right? So you mentioned your friend that may need the video conferencing platform, right? Somebody else may say, well, I have no use for that. That's great, no problem, because now here comes OTracker. So, I do need that. I want to be able to analyze where my traffic is coming from and see who my potential customers are and all these things. I'm big into analytics, you understand? So they may want that product. Somebody says, well, I want to do some online learning. Oh, well, Academy, okay, thank you very much. All under one roof, one-stop shop. So the great thing is, you're absolutely right. I say sell because you are selling, but it's not personal selling. Like you know what I mean? There's a difference in that. Right?
Yeah.
You're not personally selling, because a lot of people are scared of that word, Andy. Okay, it's not you personally selling. The system can do all of that for you. You can create the system to do that for you, which is exactly what you want, because then there's no guesswork. Then there's no, well, I have knowledge, you don't have knowledge. I have skill, you don't have skill. Oh, my background is, well, I only have a grade 8 education. All that doesn't matter. Well, I have this religion. That doesn't matter. Okay, none of that matters. That's what you want. There's no discrimination. You understand? It doesn't matter whether you're poor, whether you're rich. All that doesn't matter. What matters is that the system can do an effective job for you. It can be very efficient, right? It's going to be very streamlined. And as you said, it's going to offer more value than what's out there in the marketplace. So every single person will have a reason to at least take a look. At least take a look. And they will look. And I promise you, they're going to love what they see, because it's going to be different. It's going to be refreshing, right? It's like, oh, like even the colors, when we go to our website, even the colors that are there, it's refreshing, right? There's a lot of psychology involved in sales and marketing, right? The colors that are used, the wording that are used, all these. Are we copywriters? Do we know what to write on our website? We don't. But guess what? OnPassive has got you. OnPassive got you covered. That's the beauty about all of this, right? And so when we think of CATM, we just have to understand that Mo is involved. Okay, it is there. It's part of the acronym. It is there, but we just have to put it into the proper perspective, knowing that we need the C, the A, the T. We need that first. Okay, we didn't put Mo and say it's Mo Cat. We didn't say money comes first and then CAT comes afterwards. No, Okay, it's deliberate, people. It's deliberate, right? It's cat mo. Let's go in the way it's supposed to go, which is the C, the A, the T. That gives us the complete what we need, and then the money will come, right? It's like clockwork. I think one time I think I used the phrase to say a license to print money. If you have an automated system, it's like people who trade, for example, Andy, people, whether it's cryptocurrency, Forex, right? And they use an automated system, okay? An EA, expert advisor, okay? A robot, okay? Whatever phrase you want to call it. And so they can have these robots taking these micro trades on their behalf because they program it, they put in, what the parameters are, etc. It's automated. They can now just turn it on and walk away. And it would automatically make these trades on their behalf and close the trades and so on. Now, whether it's profitable or not, that's a whole different conversation. But the point is, they can automate that. Okay. And so that's what we're talking about. We can automate our sales process. We can automate the tedious things that a lot of people don't like doing. Right? You have automatic dialers that can, just make robocalls, right? They're making calls over and over and over and over and over again. There's so much that we can do today, folks. This is not 50 years ago. You know what I mean? There's so much that we can do today. And now when we're talking about artificial intelligence, right, and having the latest AI technology infused within the products, infused within the tools that folks, we are in a great place. We really are. This is not to motivate you, and this is not even to encourage you. This is just facts. This is just telling it like it is. We are in a great place. And for those who don't want to believe it, that's okay. Because whether you believe it or not, it's still a fact. It's still going to work out. It's still going to be in your favor, even if you don't even believe it. The reality is, we have a company that cares about you. When was the last company? Show me that company that actually cared about you. Where was that company that's actually looking out for your best interest? Where's that company that has actually gone backwards, frontwards, done everything possible to put you in a situation where you are going to win? Show me that company. ONPASSIVE is the best place to be. ONPASSIVE is what all of us want. It's what we've been looking for. Some folks have told me they've been searching for 40 years. I'm like, 40 years, right? Well, there you go. They've been searching, they've been trying, right? It's not that people are lazy. It's not that people haven't tried. People have tried. But guess what now? People are tired. People are tired of failure, tired of broken promises. ONPASSIVE says, we understand that. We know what's out there in the marketplace. And we're going to do something that's revolutionary. And that's exactly what the company is doing. But guess what? Time is involved, right? Time is involved. You don't want something to just, here you go, and then it breaks down, right? No, you want the time, the care, everything to be done just the way it should be. So when we roll it out, guess what? Here comes the mo, here comes the mo, here comes the mo, here comes the mo. Like clockwork. Money that you can depend on. Money to pay your bills, to do what you need to do in life. Money to be able to help others in life. Unlike some famous people who've got 12 point something billion dollars, right? That, what are they really going to do with that money? Okay. ONPASSIVE is the real deal. And ONPASSIVE cares about you, unfortunately, probably like no other. So let's go ONPASSIVE.
Absolutely. This is, like you say, we've been looking for this for a long, long time. I've been a financial advisor for many years, and I never viewed it as sales, because if you know more information about your products, you're on a next level. So I used to love speaking to, presidents, vice presidents, CEOs, managing directors, COOs, because they are very focused on their business and they're very good at their business, but they're not good at mine. So when it comes to ONPASSIVE, all we really need to do is to learn a little bit more about what's going on. Now, there are 175 odd pages on our website, guys. There's a blog that nobody has read, I bet. But there's so much information. And if you come from a position of strength because you know the product, it's never selling. It's not a sales, it's a share. And we don't have to do that. And the beauty about it is that, okay, I'm good at that little bit, but I'm not good at that bit. And that's the bit that the company are going to do for me. This automation system is the difference. For me, it's going to enable me to be able to actually make some money online. Because the vast majority, 97 odd percent, never make money online because we don't know that bit. And nobody wants to tell us because it's a little secret and we can make money. Whereas on passive wants to tell us and show us and do the bit that we can't do. That's why it's, for me, this is why it's so exciting. And if I have to wait a little longer, I have to wait a little longer. Does this worry me? No, absolutely not, because I know what's going on in the background, because I'm keeping up to date with what's going on. The products are being arranged in the background. As I said before, the only bit that's holding us up at the moment is the merchant. You've got to make sure that everything is in place, as Michael quite rightly pointed out. But you've got to make sure that people can get paid, and you've got to make sure that customers can pay the company. If you can't, you're not complete, and that's the first bit of the cat. Thank you, Michael, so much for joining me today. Is there anything else you'd like to tell our audience before we
Sure.
close?
The last thing I would say, Andy, is that I've learned a long time ago that in order for people to have real success, right, it's not about, well, I'm going to teach you how to do this, right, or even show you how to do this, because we've done that, right? I'm sure people have been in companies where there's some guru or some, heavy hitter or whatever you want to call them, master distributor or whatever. And they say, okay, here's a duplicatable system, or here, you know what I mean? And people showed you, okay, this is how you do it. Here's some scripts, all these different things. And yet people still didn't succeed with all of that. So for me, I came to the realization that, you know what? I have my network. In order for my network to actually win, I have to do it for them, right? I have to do it for, you know what? All you need to do, register here, send me your details. I'll set everything up for you. You're good to go, right? And so this is one of the things that attracted me to ONPASSIVE, because I'm saying that's exactly what I'm thinking in my mind, right? That in order for people to actually win, it's not so much teaching them, because a lot of people go to university, for example, right? But they don't graduate with a degree. Okay? They didn't finish. You have people went to high school. They didn't graduate with a diploma. You understand me? So a lot of people may take classes and they don't pass the class. You understand? So we have to realize that when it comes to marketing, sales, sharing, however you want to call it, when it comes to that, advertising, you need professionals, right? Companies spend millions upon millions of dollars on advertising and marketing. They spend millions of dollars paying people behind closed door that are trying to figure out what's the right word to use, what's the right slogan for the commercial, all these things, right? You can go to university and learn about marketing, right? You can take a whole, degree, right? A whole program on marketing. You understand? The point is that you need professional people to do this stuff, not your regular ma, pa. It just doesn't work that way. It hasn't worked, right? And so ONPASSIVE is doing the right things by saying, yes, we need to automate the process. We need to ensure that we're actually helping people to succeed. Because you have that 80-year-old grandma that says, oh, I can't even send out an email, right? You have that 50-year-old that says, well, I've never done anything online because I don't trust online. You know what I mean? You have all these people. I'm not tech savvy, all of this stuff. So no problem. We're going to do all that heavy lifting, all that hard work, all the techie stuff. We're going to get it done for you so that it's going to be so simple for you. Very, copy, paste, click, click. People can do that. People can copy and paste. People can click, click. They can do that, right? People can say, yeah, I'll send that email. They can do those simple things. That's what ONPASSIVE is saying. We have you covered. That's why we can all, feel relaxed. We can all rest assured that everything is going the way it should be. And we are in the best place, the best company, and we're getting ready for the greatest shape of our lives. Thank you, Andy, for having me, buddy. And I just hope that everyone fully understand cat mode. Cat mode is the key, folks. Understand it.
I think they do now, Michael. Thank you. Do you know, one of the things that made me laugh, you mentioned about traffic earlier on, and Marty was talking about this. His grandson, who's 4 years old and plays on the computer, an advert popped up about a truck. Now, this is to buy a truck. So you've got a 4-year-old playing on a game, thinks, oh, this looks interesting. I'm going to click on that. And you click on that and it's a sale for a truck, but he's looking at the truck. He's not interested in purchasing it, obviously, because he's 4 years old. And this is where the specific targeted traffic comes in. But I did like that little story that Marty came out with the other week. That was brilliant. Michael, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you guys for coming in and joining us as well. Please share this around, and we look forward to seeing you again very soon, next Tuesday. So thank you, Michael. Thank you to the audience. Speak to you soon.